put the money aside for a second, and the checks and the training and all the other stuff that we do, and just, we've already participated in almost 60,000 service projects in 7.5 years. And this company is, in my opinion, had 8 years of warm-up. You know, it's kind of been pre-game practice. And now with the energy and the team and the leadership coming together, I mean, imagine a couple million distributors all out there making an impact in their own way. I mean, that's hundreds of thousands, millions of hours in contributions to the planet. That doesn't happen every day, and that doesn't happen everywhere. So I want you to get, I mean, and I know you are, because from the morning, yesterday, through today, I mean, it's just an amazingly special place to be. And what I've done for the last 10 years, I took the break from the industry, and I started a nonprofit down in Florida doing personal development and leadership programs with high school and college students. So, you know, I spent time and funded my own journey in Sandra's company, and I really got connected to lifelong learning, and I got connected to really understanding how me and the world and people work, and you know, my life as a teenager was pretty tough. I mean, externally it was easy. You know, I was upper middle class, mom and dad who were married for 34 years until my mom died. Loving household, they did the best with what they could. You know, we never wanted for anything. Never had a lot of abundance, but you know, in terms of material stuff, but we never really wanted. So externally, everything should have been perfect, you know, but internally, I was a mess. Constant needs for approval, belonging, acceptance, just complete internal battles in my head. And so, in just doing my own purpose work and why I'm here, it kept popping back up for me that I wanted to work with other high school students. Because, you know, as an adult, now talking to other people, come to find out everyone goes through the same exact conversations. They just don't talk about it, don't share it, so everyone thinks they're all alone. And it's amazing how alone you can feel in the world with so many people. And so, so that's what we did for 10 years. We worked with about 12,000 teenagers. And we started working with, as we were doing work with high school students, you know, we have these transformations in literally 4 or 5 hours, you know, kids that would go through 4 or 5 hours of training and say that they felt love for the first time in their life, that they actually liked who they were for the first time in their life, and that they valued who they were for the first time in their life. So that's pretty cool. And we do this inside of schools, you know, inside of media centers, and the teachers would see it and say, you know, the teachers could use some of this stuff, you know. So we started doing work with teachers, and then, you know, of course, the kids at home, so like, you know, could you do this for parents? And then some of the companies that they work for, it's like, you come and do it for our company. So we worked with basically everywhere that had an impact in the community. Our role for a corporate client or an organization was wherever the biggest ripple could occur. So we'd only work with companies to do staff training if they had corporate philanthropy in place and corporate responsibility in place that their people went out to serve. And so in 10 years, we worked with 12,000 teenagers and adults. And you know, I shared this last time. We did this exercise where the whole room would get up and circle up. So we'd have 50, 60, 80, 100 people, adults and kids, standing in a circle. And it was a pretty simple exercise. We'd read a series of statements, and if that statement was true for you, you took a step into the middle, stood there for a second, and then we asked you to step back. And that was the whole exercise. And we started off really basic with stuff like, you know, if anyone's ever called you bossy. Come on, take a step in. To, you know, are your parents still married, or if one of your parents is no longer with you, to if you ever had to go for a day without eating while you were growing up. From acts of violence that you either witnessed or participated in or were a victim of. And incredibly moving stuff. And again, coming back to what we talked about last night, where what people got to in a very, very short amount of time is how similar all of our journeys are. And there's one question or one statement that we asked that I will never, ever, ever forget. And we said, if you often feel like you're not enough, and in 10 years, 12,000 people, 2 people didn't step in for that. 2. So I just want you to get that what you're doing and what we're doing here is so much bigger than just product and comp plan. It's about helping people really connect to who they are and what they're capable of. Because most people, the vast majority of people on the planet, are born and die way before they realize that. And the ability and the gift to be able to wake people up to that is just awesome. So that's one of my big whys. And it's amazing when you step out. Chris, you've the whole experience here has been really inspiring for me. So, I took what my passion was and what I've been getting paid for the last 10 years, and call up some friends of mine that are in the transformational community that have been talking for the last couple of years about doing a youth program. And so I called her up and I said, hey, Joe, you still interested in doing that? She said, yes. She's like, but we're really tight right now, and we got to figure out how to generate the funding. I was like, you put the kids in the room and I'll come train. And she's like, okay, well, what's your fee? I was like, no, I'll just come train. And she's like, well, for the first one? I was like, well, how many do you want to do a year? 2 or 3? I'll do them all. And so...
Right on, brother!
Yeah.
And, it's really interesting. I just connected this while I was sitting back there. I made that call on the 19th. 20th of the month started our little run towards the end of the month. So not really an accident, I don't think. You step out in service and the universe says thank you and rewards you in lots of different ways. But I have no idea what I was going to talk about. But
that happens here.
So
Loving it so far.
this is what we get to do, and that's why it's like, people, that's why getting here is so important, because you can't in any way transfer this experience in a couple of words or a conference call, and you just can't do it. And so just really be a stand for the people that you're talking to, that they get to a live event as quickly as they can. Everybody that comes into your vision, your fold that's in your team by the time convention hits should be sitting on either side of you in convention. Because if you think you get it here, wait till there's 1,200 people strong and Ron's leading the charge and we're out in service for the day and it's really going to be pretty special. So I'm just going to end up with a couple of things. So if we leave it all kind of here in our notes and the conversation, and it just kind of stays inside of us as a feeling, then we had a great weekend together, but it's about taking it from here and going to put it into practical use, right? It's about taking it from here and going and doing it every day. And so, what I want to get you away from is thinking that you need to have a check of a certain amount before you can go serve, or that you need to get to a certain place before you can go serve. If you want to serve, go do it now. Trust me when I tell you, as soon as you step out and start focusing out, your world will work significantly better. And so there's no place you need to get to, there's no place you need to go, there's no check you need to make. You know, if you've got a passion in your heart to go be a service somewhere, somehow, do it now. So when you go back home, figure that out and start it if it compels you. All right? So, you know, I believe that we all have this immense potential in us. And I believe that all of us have this greatness just waiting to kind of allow it, just get ourselves out of the way so we can go. And so I call it, you know, your personal effectiveness. So how the results we create in the world is our potential minus our stuff. So, you know, how everyone's got stuff, yeah? You got some stuff? You got some stuff?
Yep.
I got some stuff. You got some stuff? We've all been through crap, right? We've all been through a lot of stuff in life, right? And, you know, there is, you can go back and try to figure it out. I've done so much mom and dad work. Oh my God, go back and figure it out. Who caused this and what conversation caused that? You know, the fact that when I was like, 6 years old, I cleaned my room, and my mom would come behind me and clean it again because it wasn't cleaned right. Oh my God, Mom, maybe not good enough. So, I mean, all of this stuff. I've done it with kids. I've done it my own work. So you can go back for as long as you want and try to figure out where everything came from, or you're gonna say, you know what? Been through it, awesome, now what, right? So what, now what, right? And let's co-create from here. So we get to live in concert with our stuff. We get to not blame our stuff. We get to not use it as an excuse or a reason to play small. Because believe me, the world doesn't need more people playing small. The world needs us stepping into our greatness and playing big, okay? So what I want to just share with you is a couple kind of strategies I use. How many of you are readers? Readers? Consistently, okay? Someone hand it up. Consistently. I've read once, I mean, really, how is Chris and I don't know how much personal development I've been through in my life. I mean, $200,000 worth. I mean, it's just part of what you got to do. So part of being able to live in concert with your stuff is just building yourself into a bigger place. You build yourself, you build your vision, so it's bigger than all your crap. Seriously, I mean, if all the crap is in your way, right? Here's your crap, right? This is your crap, right? And here's you. Right? And if you can't see past your crap, it's going to stop you. Right? So build you and build your vision big enough so that it's just this small little stuff. Right? And you can go play in life in a big way. So a couple of strategies I use. In terms of books, right? And it's the same thing for your team, right? Commit to yourself and read 10 pages of a quality book. And this isn't like a romance novel. A quality book that's going to further you in some way, shape, or form. 10 pages a day. What is it going to take you? If you're a fast reader, 10 minutes. Slow reader, an hour, right? Really slow reader, an hour. 15, 20 minutes, half hour. The two times that our subconscious is most susceptible to information is right before we go to bed and right when we wake up. We're in this juicy alpha state of awareness. Thank you, Sandra. Where I learned all this stuff from. We're in this juicy alpha state of awareness that information bypasses our short-term memory, goes right into long-term. So 10 pages a day, really simple. Very easy to do, yes. Very easy also not to do. Okay, so just commit to it. Just say, 10 pages a day. It's just like with Chris, 3 contacts a day, right? 3 contacts a day. Don't do it. If you don't do it for a week, you're going to be stuck there for a couple hours reading. So just do it every day, right? I keep books by my bed and by my toilet. Hey, I'm in both spots, a number of times a day, right? I mean, you can knock out, you eat a lot of pulse, man. You can knock out your 10 pages like that, That's just the way it works. This is the most regular company in the history of network marketing. Woo! So, all right.
Can we put that on our business cards on the back of our
We're just a bunch of regular people. Geez. So do that, right? And it doesn't seem like a lot, right? You're empowering yourself, but you're building a team, right? And so everything's about duplicating things that work. So, you have 10 people in your team. Everyone's reading 10 pages a day. That's 100 plus years, 110 pages a day in your business. That is furthering and developing your mind and your talent, right? You grow that out to 1,000 people. That's 10,000 pages a day of good quality information feeding your business. All right? Huge, 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 huge. Okay, cars, right? When you're driving, if there's people with you, talk to them. Be in a relationship with people. If you're alone, turn the music off and listen to something good. Now there's plenty of good music out there, right? But use that time, that commute time. I know most of us are on the phone when we're driving, but use your time creatively and wisely to educate and further yourself. Okay? And then I do what's called R&R, reflect and review, very, very consistently. I'll do a weekly look back over my week. I'll do it monthly for sure, look back over my month, what worked, what didn't, where did I fall short, where did I really exceed. And do that and partner up and do that with some of your team as well, right? So constantly looking at bettering the game, right? I mean, this business, like I said, there's not that many moving pieces to it. And I say it all the time, the business is all about people, but you can really, as Cody said, run it by the numbers, right? And so look at what you did, look at your results, and then dive into the different areas. Like if you talk to 100 people and only enroll 2, right? Then you might want to work on that first part where you connect with them, right? And build a relationship, because those numbers kind of suck, right? So, unless you're calling on the phone book, then they're actually pretty good, right? So, you got to look at all the pieces. And so you can look at your business and say, okay, well, this last month, I made $1,000 and I did, 10,000 team volume, and I enrolled this many people, and I put this many people through my initial funnel, and I did this many 3-ways with my group. And you can look at your business, and it will always make sense. I mean, it's not going to be Greek. It'll say, you'll be able to look at your numbers and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. That equals this production. And so you can always kind of sharpen the saw on all these different little pieces. Like Pete's takeaway this morning, he goes, I'm probably talking way too much, right? And if you shift where you start talking a lot in the process, from the front end to the back end, you'll see your income go through the roof. Use the systems to sort them out. We do all of our work after we know we've got a qualified prospect. Right? And so I'm just going to wrap up with this, with a couple of things. So one of my really good friends in the industry says that new distributors are only slightly more interested prospects. And, we think that, right? I mean, how many people have ever signed someone up and then they didn't do anything?
No.
Does that ever happen? You're like, wait a minute, you just bought into a business and you bought great product and you said you want to do this and you want to do this, and then I can't even get you to call me back, right? So don't try to figure it all out, right? But working with your team and spending time with your team and investing in your team is where you really make money. So we don't do that many things in this business. If you notice, like, we just get really good at inviting people to go look at something. We get really good at promoting whatever we want them to go do next, right? If you consistently put your people in front of the top leaders in the team, you're going to do well. So just put your prospects in front of them. When we have team training calls, put your teammates in front of them. When we have events, put your team members in front of them. The more you can put the people you're talking to in front of the people that are doing the best in the business, the more money you make. Period. I mean, I've built my entire business around these flyers. And we just do a bunch of things every day in between, but the whole thing's been built around the flyers. So, Guys, I'm totally on tandem, random little streaks here, but, so to bring it home, we heard from Chris, Kinney first, nugget out of there, 3 new exposures a day, yeah?
Yeah.
Connect with people, build relationships, all about connecting. Is this person in a place where I should invest more time with them? But 3 exposures a day. Guys, that's 90 a month, all right? And even if you're only doing 5 days a week, that's 60 a month. 60 a month. Even if you do those sucky numbers we just talked about, that's 1 or 2 sales, right? You make 2 sales a month to duplicate, you're gonna grow a big business, okay? Then we heard from, who did we hear from next? Cody, yeah? What was your takeaway from Cody? Pete?
Talk less.
Fire hose people.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Simple 1, 2, 3 system. Hey, I've been doing this for 20 years. I learned that from Cody coming into this business. I do it every single time I talk to someone, right? They say, what do you say? Well, I just follow them up, I make friends, and I say, you know what? You're in a 3-step process. We just finished step 1, you're at step 2. You're gonna love to get to step 3, because that's where I'm gonna share with you some of the information that I've learned over the last 20 years. If you haven't been in the industry 20 years, you say, you're gonna love step 3, because that's where we're gonna get you together with someone that's been in this business for 20 years, and they're gonna share with you everything they've done to make millions of dollars. Really, I get that for buying a pack for $200, you know? I mean, it's just brilliant. So I do it every single time, every single time. It saves me so much time on the phone. And then we heard from Ellie with 3-way calls. I couldn't even tell you how many 3-way calls I've done for Ellie. 400 or 500, easy, right? A lot, you know? I mean, she once got upset that I wasn't available on Easter Sunday night. At 10 p.m., right? She's like, I can't believe you're not available. Right? But hey, she's smart, you know, and consistently made more sales than anyone else in my group, 2 businesses in a row. And she's just following the system. She works her tail off, she works diligently, consistently, and follows the simple. That's easy to duplicate. The simple system that's easy to duplicate. All right, then who was next? Dude, the marketing system. I'm telling you guys, if you've never participated in a single co-op, the time that system is going to save us in just working with a warm market. I was telling Faye, when she's like, increase sales by 30 or 35%. I enroll 1 to 4 people a month that comes back to me that I haven't talked to in weeks or months, that comes back in just because they received an autoresponder message. And I think I'm probably doing 1 automatic sign up a week to 2 right now with our existing funnel system. So, you know, going over to what we're creating is really going to be awesome. So, and then Mr. Tinney, you inspire me, brother.
Means a lot to me.
It's a special thing to be able to walk in service with people, and so just go find your stand, you know, go figure it out, and if it needs to start close, you know, start with your family, you know, and move out from there. You know, as tradition, my son and I started when he was like 3. You know, on MLK Day, we sit down in his room, we start going through all the clothes and all his toys and all the stuff he doesn't use anymore, and then we go together down to hospital that works with kids with really significant illnesses, and he gets to donate and give them to him. We've been doing that for about 3.5 years now. So, you know, figure out a way to go focus outside of you and go serve somewhere, and trust me, your whole world will shift for the better, almost instantaneously. It's really, really, really difficult to be focused on your stuff when you're in service. It makes your stuff really small. We get to sleep in here tonight.
Yep.
So it gives you some perspective. One of the first times I did it as a group, I was on an event in Aruba with a company Sandra and I were in, and we went out and we took over this daycare center. Well, it was like a community center, and we painted and we cleaned up and we yanked weed. I mean, this place was awful. You know, Aruba's like a lot of places in the world. There's beautiful resorts, and then where everyone else lives, right? And it's not resort-like. And we walked through this field where all the kids played soccer every day, and we filled up a half of trash can full of broken glass from just picking it up in the field. And this is where the kids play every day. Yeah, it was. It's really tough to get hung up on your own little. I don't want to diminish our stuff, but you know, by contrast.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
It's not. So, guys, we've said it a couple times, you've heard it from all the speakers. If I were you, well, I'll just say this, I don't tell you what I'm gonna be doing for the next 90 days, right? So the next 90 days, I will talk to more people personally, and introduce them to my business than I probably have in the last year of my career. I will do more 3-ways with team members. I will train harder. I will work harder on me. I will serve more. This next 90 days, this is about right now to convention, is such a time where if you choose to really step into it and focus, and honestly, work like you never have before, it'll pay you off so significantly going forward, right? The number of people that you personally have in your group at convention will be a large indicator of your 2012 income. So you want to set yourself up really well in 2012, focus from this day forward to making sure you have as many people sitting on your left and on your right. Trust me when I tell you, when the convention's going and something's happening, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna go, oh man, I wish so-and-so was here, or I wish so-and-so was here. You guys have been doing it all weekend, just with this little weekend event, right? I mean, you guys have hit parts of the weekend where you go, oh man, this person right here would so benefit from this message. You know, or I wish my partner, or this person, or this friend of mine was here. So just go flat out, right? Keep yourself nourished, eat good, forever green food, and get after it these next 90 days, guys. It is go time, right? We've got the systems in place with Yo launching this week. If you don't have anyone to talk to, we've got co-ops running all the time. And all of you guys have people in your warm market that you are too afraid or haven't talked to yet. Put them down and get them through the system. Get them in front of someone that's been doing the business for a while. And if you focus on that, you may run out of leads, okay? The people to talk to for the first time, but you will never, ever run out of second or third level leads. You put 20 people in yourself and you're gonna talk to each of their top 25, how quickly are you gonna get through those 500? All right, guys, so let's get after it. It's time to hit it. Right? You guys,
Yeah.
you guys have been awesome. Let's do this. Let's finish the day with a little bit of appreciation, some sharing. So let's hear from a few people.